All right, welcome back. We continue right here, #1 Cochran Sports Showdown. Thanks for joining us, and we hope we can be somewhat of a distraction for you as this crisis continues. In the meantime, we're talking more Steelers and backup quarterback. They're in a situation right now where they have Mason Rudolph and Devlin Hodges. They have some other guys that you know about who won't factor into this. But the question now is, do they have room for Jameis Winston, who's one of the quarterbacks left out there with no place to go right now? Andrew, this is something you've been trumping for quite some time. I know you want to see this happen. Number two, first question is, first of all, how much would it cost? Number two is, would he be willing to come here for a low price knowing that he may not play?
Well, Bob, beggars can't be choosers, right? I mean, all the starting jobs are filled up. You've got teams leaking to their friends in the media saying, we have no interest in Jameis Winston as our starting quarterback. Teams like Washington, the LA Chargers, the Patriots have no interest. So to me, if I'm Jameis Winston, Bob, why not go the Teddy Bridgewater route? That made him $63 million. He backed up Drew Brees. He went 5-0. Ben Roethlisberger's 38. He could come here, take a deep breath, watch, call if pushed into duty, probably do well. He's got to take the reckless side out of his game. He's obviously too turnover prone. But to me, I would rather, let me put it this way, Richie and Bob, I would rather, if I'm Jameis Winston, if the money is not like $20 million compared to $5 million, I would rather back up Ben Roethlisberger than go to a place like Jacksonville, which is a total lame duck situation, and compete with Gardner Minshew for the starting job and then get blown out of there after 1 year.
Hey, but he wants to be a starter, and I think that's his first priority. He has no chance at starting with the Steelers. If the Steelers do bring him in here, then you have to question Ben's health and whether the Steelers think he's going to be 100% this year. I don't know if the Steelers can even afford him. They're around $4 million under the cap right now. I'm guessing $4 to $6 million in that range. Depending on, maybe they can restructure another guy, but I just don't think they have the money to do it. And I
well,
am
why not,
comfortable
Richie? I
with
mean,
Mason
they can still
Rudolph being the
restructure
backup
to
right
it.
now.
They can still restructure
They can still
to
restructure
it, right?
Hayward.
Okay, they can give him an extension and bring that number down. So, I mean, we've learned, right, Bob? I mean, we learned this week, they'll find the money if they really want to do something. And I know I don't want next season to go the way of 2019, where if there's an injury to Ben Roethlisberger, they got to pray that their defense holds a team under 14 points to win the game.
All right, real quick, I want to ask you this question here, and that would be about the quarterbacks that have already signed. We saw Brady, of course, go to Tampa Bay. Brees stays put. Bridgewater goes to Carolina. Prescott stays put. You got Phillip Rivers, and now you have Ryan Tannehill getting $118 million. Of these guys, Rich, which of them will have the biggest impact in 2020 for their team?
I want to say Phillip Rivers, because that Colts team was a good team, and I thought they were a Super Bowl contender with Andrew Luck. And last year, Jacoby Brissett, I don't think he's a Super Bowl-type quarterback, and obviously didn't lead the Colts to the postseason. But I think with a Phillip Rivers, it depends on what kind of Phillip Rivers you get there. But if you get a Phillip Rivers that doesn't throw interceptions and doesn't lose his mind, I think that team could be destined for the postseason.
I hate the Rivers move, Richie. I hate to burst your bubble, but I thought I saw a guy last year who was ready to get on with his life's work. To quote Chuck Noll, I think that he's ready for the glue factory. He might look best in a Monday Night Football booth rather than under center for the Colts. The easy answer here is Tom Brady, isn't it? I mean, come on. He's got all kinds of weapons. I think their offensive line inside is actually good with their guards and center in Tampa. Bruce Arians has won with every kind of quarterback. I mean, I find out today that the one thing Brady wanted was everybody's phone number. He didn't make absurd contract demands. He didn't ask for control of the roster. The Buccaneers might go to the Super Bowl next year, and I think they're going to have Tom Brady to thank for it.
And he would be the first guy to lead a guy from that team to host a Super Bowl. That's never happened before. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to have more on Brady coming up after the break, but right now it's time to go round the horn for this week's Smooth Moves, which are brought to you by Pittsburgh's largest supplier of the smoothest granite, marble, and quartz countertops you will find anywhere. Armina Stone. They are smooth. So, guys, Rich, you go first. Your smooth move of the week is?
I'm going to give that to Nick Birdie. He was watching the president talk, and he decided to start a blood donation challenge with some of his Pirates teammates and everyone on Twitter. We did a story on it on KDKA the other night, and I'll give my smooth move to Nick Birdie trying to help out.
Yeah, Bob, sometimes these are kind of lighthearted and funny. I'm going to go a little serious here for a second, if that's all right.
Sure.
Nurses, doctors, grocery store workers, first responders, the people here in Pittsburgh that are treating this pandemic and are there on the front lines. If I had a hat, I would tip it to them right now. An unbelievable job. I can't thank those people enough. What they're doing now and what they're going to be asked to do in the future.
I couldn't agree more, and that was going to be mine as well. Just a tip of the cap, because they are putting themselves on the front line. They are risking their own health. And we saw today in Italy that 15 doctors died while trying to help out. And that's very real, and it goes to show you just the definition of a hero. And we tip our hats to those healthcare workers and providers. Armina Stone, Pittsburgh's largest supplier of the smoothest granite, marble, and quartz countertops you're going to find anywhere. Thank you for Smooth Moves. And that is as smooth as it gets. And we'll be back with Tom Brady discussion, why he went to Tampa, and also, is he capable at age 43 of doing what Pony says? That's next.